Hey, what's going on, world? It's your boy Boom back at it again for This Is 50, man. We got a very special guest, the talented, legendary Lil Mo. Now, we know her for a lot of things, but now she's definitely on a new path as far as music goes. We has a brand new album on the way, in the works actually, and then has a brand new single out right now called Broken Heart. And we want to ask, first thing I want to ask Lil Mo, man, where do you go to fix a broken heart?
That's what I've been trying to figure out ever since I started singing the song. But one thing I realized is whatever's hurting you, you have to find out what's going on inside. So the best place to start to fix a broken heart is find out what hurt you in the first place and then fix what's going on inside. Whatever you hate or don't like about something or someone else is usually something that you don't like about yourself. So I would say with the broken heart is figure it out within what's going on. And that's a start.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, being that you've been known as a superwoman, what's it like knowing that you made a song like Broken Heart and people run to you and your music to fix their pain when you're a person in pain at the same time? How does that feel? Just knowing that your fans are running to you and you be like, I'm out here in these streets, man. So
Nah, it's real out here, but I was a person that they ran to for strength because I've always been known for empowering anthems, such as Superwoman, such as Forever, such as Hot Boys, such as Put It On Me, such as Can't Let You Go. No matter what I sang about, my voice was always empowering, but nobody knew half the things I was singing about back then. I wasn't living. I mean, I just feel that if you came to me for strength, you can come to me for healing. So I never do those songs or anthems that downplay or that just go against strength. Even when I'm going through at my lowest point, I always find a way to hustle and level up. So you're never gonna hear any songs about me crying or being so sad. It's just like, yo, like before I go to anybody else or before I even put it on the internet, I'm gonna ask God, why you do me like that? Forget these people, forget everything else. Like, so that's the way I want people to start changing the narrative. Stop running to the internet with all your problems. Sometimes you gotta consult God or whatever you believe in, the universe, the higher power. Sometimes you gotta talk to yourself and you gotta get to know yourself before you even think about saving everybody else. Save yourself.
now,
Period.
that's definitely
Period.
something that a lot of people don't really touch on as far as like having like as far as religious beliefs or whatnot. Like you said,
Yeah.
to God and be like, yo, why you do me like that? A lot of people will be like, well, that's who you pray to be like
Hello.
to find the answers. But what made you be like, no, I'm gonna flip it and be like, no, you deserve, I need some answers. Like I'm going to you to
Yeah.
answers.
Because I was trying to find the answers in everything, everyone, and every place else. And I wasn't raised like that, and I knew better. So a lot of things that I hid or that I brushed under the rug, like, oh, I can handle this, I could deal with this. It just got to the point where growing up in the household I did, I always learned that God will never put more on you than you can bear. But then it got to the point where, like, all right, God, that's what they had said, but I'm bearing, like, I'm bearing too much. You literally have to get to that point. So whether you're religious, spiritual, or if you don't believe in a higher power, believe in something because you have to have a belief. And honestly, the only thing that God asks and to please him is have faith. And faith is the belief to think or have the evidence of something that you can't see. So I had faith enough and belief enough that what I was going through, I thought it was so bad, somebody's worse off than me. So stop looking at your situation, Mo, and act like that. I put you in that situation. We all have free will and choices.
Yeah.
I've had this discussion with my children, with myself mainly, and honestly with other family members. Everything we do, we have a choice. There's a right, there's a wrong, there's a good and a bad. There's that crossroad where you just like, you've even seen the TikToks where people pick the left or the right. We all have the choice. You have a choice. And I chose to do things the wrong way. So then I had the audacity to be like, God, why you do me like that? God be like, ain't nobody tell you to do that. You did that of your own volition.
Yeah.
That's how God talked to me. He may talk to everybody else different, but the way God talks to me is just like, I ain't tell you, I did not tell you to do that. I was like, you know what, you right. Because God is not a man that he can lie. Hello?
I told
Period. So it's just like,
like they
that's
said,
it.
like they said, I sent 3 boats, you dummy.
I sent 3 boats, weirdo.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Well, speaking of a broken heart, I want to know. I want to flip it on you differently. Like being that
Mhm.
had to go through your journeys in the music business like you would with a relationship. I want to ask you, when's the last time the music industry has given you a broken heart?
Shoot, all the time. But lately, what I've realized is don't focus on the comment section, the naysayers, the haters. We're giving them too much credit. Just use them as your billboard. You hate me so much. Well, whatever you hate or don't like about me, or fix that in yourself. Because the same energy that it takes to love is the same energy that it takes for you to like. You don't have to say anything crazy to somebody. If somebody's doing something crazy, if I'm doing something crazy, chances are I know it. And sometimes I'll do it to see if somebody's going to say something that's close to me. But then when I noticed that the world or the industry or people were saying things, and I'm just like, but, but I just realized that I was breaking my own heart trying to save everybody else. So the way I reeled it back in was like the industry or the people wasn't breaking my heart. It was me trying to save everybody else. And when they go home, they with their peoples and they don't have to deal with me. So I was saving people from stuff that shit that I was sinking in. And I was thinking that they would help me back. So the industry kind of broke my heart when I was thinking that everybody owed me something. Then I realized, and my manager told me, he tells me all the time, don't nobody owe you nothing. Don't nobody, you like, whatever you did, that was business. Stop taking it so personal. And I realized, handle your business, Mo. Do what you got to do and go home. And that's how you sleep good at night, knowing that you did all that you can, great, and go home. You don't have to be the last one there. You don't have to turn the lights on at the club. Like it, it's all about changing your focus and the narrative.
No doubt, no doubt. And then, like you said, you're raising kids of your own. I want to ask you,
Yes.
are your kids your biggest critic when it comes to music?
What my kids don't even be caring. Like everybody else will be like, this song is bringing me through. My daughter send me a text, be like, oh yeah, I like your little song.
Oh,
So it be your own kids. My
yeah,
son, he'll have the YouTube set up, and he was like, "Ma, you don't even got no YouTube." So then, when the song was on streaming, all the streaming platforms, and it came, oh my God, I'm tired of hearing this song. Well, you're gonna get tired because we're gonna run it up. My
yeah.
5-year-old son, he loves it. Mom, you're such a great singer. Mom, you're the best in the world. I just love him, but there's gonna be a time where he grows out of him like, Mom, nobody don't want to hear that. But my kids know that everything I do from here on out is up and it's for them.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, you definitely got a project in the works, and you have some very interesting, I would say, collaborations on the project. So why don't you talk about that?
Well, yeah, interesting collabs, but I mainly want to focus on myself. The reason being is what I've learned not only through this pandemic, but pre-pandemic, when all the concerts and shows was going on, it's rare that the people that I featured on songs or featured on songs with me, it's rare that we get to perform the song together.
Yeah,
So, one of the greatest joys, and I think one of the best things is like when you have a song with somebody and then their part comes out and then the crowd goes crazy. But then when they're not around or they running around and you on the other side of the world and y'all can't really have that energy and chemistry on the stage, the crowd has to sing their part or your part. Not that there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just something about being able to perform Superwoman with Fab that I just love, that I always loved. Being able to do Hot Boys with Missy or just get that energy is much missed. So we decided with the Savage Heart album and project, we'll keep I would say the features to a minimal, but we have some. We just gotta wait for all the paperwork and the business to be handled. But for the most part, like everyone that I've reached out to, pretty much, it's just like, yo, you're a legend. Whatever you want to do, I got you. But honestly, the one that I'm most proud of, I would say, is Broken Heart, because a lot of people don't even know that my son, my 12-year-old son, is on the backgrounds. So to me, that's lit to see that my son is really walking in my footsteps and he's learning the way to make his tone and his voice be known. So when you listen back, or even if you hear the acapella, you be like, oh, snap, he do sound like Mo. So I was up here searching for other artists to have chemistry with. And the closest chemistry, honestly, that I've ever gotten is the one that came out my body,
yeah,
period.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now, like you said, you worked with your son on the new single. But I want to ask you, just as a mother, how much did you cry hearing the completed single and knowing your son was involved in it, and just
All
watching?
the time. All the time. And they be like, tighten up, Mom. He'd be like, you gotta let me. He told me one day, and I cried my heart out. He was like, Mom, I have to leave the nest one day. And I was just like, dang, like he was like, Mom, I'm a tween. Because he's 12. So he's like right between, well, no, he said he's not 12. He just gonna be 11 again because he don't rock with 12. His mindset is just crazy. So he was like, but Mom, like I'm growing up, you gotta let me grow up. And I understand it. And I know with this business, I try to protect him, but at the end of the day, he has to grow up and be a man one day. So the fact that I can keep his attention enough for him to do the backgrounds with and for me, and just to be a part of this process, to see that it's hard work. It's not you just go in there and then they just make it happen and make you sound amazing. No, like my team is really hard on me to make sure that the passion and that the point is getting across. Because one thing I didn't want to do with this project is just sing to be singing or be singing all over the place. Like if you notice, Broken Heart doesn't sound like anything I've ever done before. I used to do hundreds and thousands of ad-libs and vocals and backgrounds, but I went in there and I literally sang from my heart. And just to have that energy around me, I actually had my and my Yorkie with me. I had my niecey poo with me, like just for emotional support. So I'm taking everything that I do now when I step into the studio, my workspace, my comfort zone, my box. I'm making sure that it's organic, it's real, it's natural, and I'm not just doing it just to be doing it.
Sure, for sure. Well, it's very happy to have you back, especially releasing a
Thank you.
full-length album. But I know a lot of people have questions as far as Lil Mo goes. Like we all know the history and all the classics that you've been a part of. But I want to know, like even back then, were there ever talks of like a collaboration project with a Ja Rule or a collaboration project with a Fab or even a female-driven collaboration project with a Missy? Was there ever talks of that back then, or was it just like we just making music together and then the singles go on separate projects and we just rock like that?
It was talks, but one thing, what I love about everybody that I've done songs with, when the chemistry is right and the song is right, we just rock out. Here, send me the vocals, send me the session. Boom, I got you. I'm gonna send it back. That was one of the best things that I could say with all the collaborations that I've done. I never want to force an album, because sometimes you can have some great songs together and you try to do an album and then nobody would care. And
Yeah,
that's not something that we wanted. I think the spacing in between the features, I think some of the best chemistry comes from spontaneity. Like, yo, I got this song, I just did it, I'm sending it to you right now. I'll be like, yep, that's it. That's how it is with everything that I do. So it was never forced. But far as an album, like me and Fab have enough collabs together right now that we could put out an album just a collabs alone, even songs that haven't been released.
yeah.
So I just think that, and with streaming, like you can make a whole album, and put it in a row, and then people just listen back to back, or they could just add it in their shuffle, or just record it on their phone and make an album of themselves. You feel me? But it's just like it's so much that goes into putting an album together. It's so much business and paperwork, and nobody just wants to deal with that. It's just like almost like let's just do the features and maybe put a compilation together and have what's the name of them companies that used to put out them 90s jams album. But like DJs been doing that forever anyway. Be like, yo, the Lil Mo so and so feature John anyway. So I mean, I was never pressed like that. I was just like, if we work, we work. If not, we still gonna be family and keep it moving.
Now everybody knows about the collaborations you have with a Fab or a Missy or Ja Rule. But I want to know, man, is there any unreleased collaborations that you really wish would have gotten out?
Oh man, yeah, a couple. Like I did a song with Ty Dolla. So I don't know if they're gonna still release it. Like we signed all the paperwork and stuff. It was called Long Live Nip, and it was for Nipsey Hussle. So like the way we constructed the song, like it's so musically genius. I'm like, oh my God, it might go over people's heads. That's how amazing I think the record is. I've done a lot of songs with people that I'm just like, I've done songs with Wiz Khalifa, Ty Dolla, I said him, YFN Lucci. Like I have so much stuff in the vault that I'm just like, well, if I should put this out now. But I just think that timing is everything. And even if it's just for my listening pleasure, so be it. But at the end of the day, just like Tupac, some of his greatest unreleased songs are still at Quincy Jones' son house.
Yeah.
And we may never hear them. Like I just want so many bodies of work that when the time comes to release, be like, oh, y'all ain't know I had this. I had this drawer 4 over here waiting. You feel me?
Yeah, definitely.
Shoot, I've done songs with Missy that haven't never came out. Like that's just sitting right there. It's just like timing is everything, and sometimes you just got to keep it in the tuck and hit it with the joker. Or so, you feel me?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Now you call the album on the way is called Savaged Hearts, but
Yes.
I want to know how have you strengthened yourself as a songwriter after going through so much in the music industry up till now?
One thing that my manager and I always say, we always be like, this pen always gonna drip and this voice always gonna tip. Like, like one thing I'm grateful for is that I've had enough sense to not destroy my instrument. And that's the reason why, even when I was going through things with the opioid addiction and coming out of that, I realized, like, thank you, God, for not taking my voice away. So as long as I can sing, I'm always be able to write. Like, there are times I have so many lyrics and melodies. It's almost like music just drips out of my pores. I'm always recording voice notes, and whether the song comes out or not, it'll never stop me from writing, because I think everything you touch is a song. Everything I do is a song. Everything that happens in life to me is a song. Like, so some things people laugh about, some things people cry about, some things people pray about, some things people stress about. That's a song to me. And even if I see something, I'm like, oh, that's a song. So I don't think that anything will ever change with that. I think the maturity and everything that I've gone through, I'm just gonna always think about. So with Savage Heart, everything that I went through, that I've seen, we made a song about it. From Broken Heart to Jelly Jelly, which is people like, why is people jealous of me? Like, little on me, what did I do to become so hated? Like, for real, to a song I got called Runaway, which is the Savage Heart anthem, to a song to the song I got called Demon. Some of these niggas just want demons. And I just be like, oh, that's what you want? Oh, you want somebody be spitting all on you? Like, we got songs, we go there. Yeah. So no stone is left unturned. No vibe is left untouched. We went in with this project. We took our time. And as much as the pandemic was emotionally and mentally stressful to a lot of us all because the world shut down, it honestly was a blessing, because I really got to take a whole year and some change and get in my bag.
No doubt, no doubt. Definitely, it was hard on everybody, but it was a reset for a lot of us. You know, a lot of us.
I reset it. Because even though I say it's hard to push restart, once you know all that stuff fall apart, it may be hard to push restart, but I'm going to reset. Like a, hello, pass me a bobby pin. I'm going to push that little button and we're going to reset this thing. It's like I'm a whole new artist.
For sure, for sure. Now, I want to ask you, as far as motherhood goes, man, definitely motherhood, social media is definitely a new challenge for a lot of you guys during this generation.
Ooh.
But being that you've done reality TV before, I want to ask you, when it comes to talking to your kids about reality television, what are some things like you talk to them about, like as far as what they ask you and what goes on behind the scenes, and is it really real of what it was or not? It's all fake, pre-scripted, whatnot. I know your children watch it and have a lot of questions behind the scenes that they ask you about. So what is the conversation?
They've been on sets and everything, and they've actually been a part of reality TV. So they don't really question a lot. My kids are so cool. They don't be caring. Like, they'll be like, when we gonna be on TV? How much we getting paid? My kids are the coolest version of me that you can ever. They don't want to know about the business. They don't want to know who I got beef with, because if it's time to pop out, I got 5 soldiers that's trained to go. But at the end of the day, my kids are so humble. They realize that even when they saw it on TV, like what y'all saw on TV, my children had to live through that. So I really had to take a step back and was like, I remember doing Love and Hip Hop and my son Googling my name and seeing certain things. And he caught me by surprise when he was asking certain stuff on TV. I was like, what? I didn't even know that he was Googling. And I was like, stop putting my name in your search, because you might see something you're not supposed to see. But then I thought about it. I was like, stop doing stuff that your kids will have to pull up and possibly be embarrassed by, or that their friends will say, yo, so I heard your mother, you feel me? So I realized that's the part where I had to change the narrative, because my kids see everything. One thing I do love is they don't do a lot of the things that I do. Like, they be like, nah, I'm cool with that. Ma, what took you so long to let that go? Like, you weird. Like, my kids, they're the best.
Definitely.
My kids are the best.
What are some of the things that you've learned from your children about yourself?
That what continues and you allow, that's what I have accepted. So I learned to take accountability for the mistakes I made, because as much as you try to hide things, kids be knowing. So what I've learned from my kids is that they be knowing everything, whether it makes the internet or not. They're not, they know everything. They not stupid at all. So if you be thinking that you hiding stuff from your kids, whatever you think you're gonna hide, it'll trickle down and it'll fall on them. So I never wanted my sins or my shortcomings or my transgressions to affect them. That's why I was just like, nah, cut it. I'm gonna let them make their own mistakes because they're gonna make some. It's life. It's part of growing up. But one thing that I've learned from them the most is that they're all honor students, and I love that about them. But they all have their own mind, so they all take their separate road on how they want to handle their business. My kids are strong, and I know they get that from me. My kids uplift me and uphold me. And one thing I love and I genuinely can say that I'm grateful for is that they never question when I make a move. They never be like, well, Ma, why didn't you? They just don't never ask me, well, why didn't you stay with da da da? They already know the vibes. They'll be like, I thought you'd have been left. And I'm like, yeah, but that's your whole dad. So I'll be like, oh, I don't have to talk down on nobody. My kids be with everything I'm on. Yeah. I love that about them. I respect that so much about them. And my kids have the utmost respect for me. Now, my boys be cutting up. I be wanting to whoo. Hey, boys are something different, but my daughters, because they're 16 and 18, so they're grown. I always was afraid that, oh my God, I don't want them to run into no niggas like the ones I dealt with. Like how Dirk say, I don't want to see my daughters go through all this shit with different niggas, the way I went with shit with different niggas. And so far, maybe they keeping it away from me, but so good. Like they be like, I ain't got no rap. They want a bag and they want these grades. They love being on the honor roll.
Facts, definitely a blessing, and to be something to be as a strong Black woman. But speaking of being a strong Black woman, like a lot of women ran to your catalog for inspiration, for guidance, for strength, as far as being a beautiful Black skinned woman like yourself. But I want to know, like, what do you plan on providing as far as beauty positive content? Do you plan on providing on Savaged Heart?
Far as Savaged Heart is, far as beauty content, strength, and women running to me, I want women to not be afraid to. Now I'm going to say what I'm going to say, to get revenge. Now people think revenge automatically means retaliation. Doesn't mean that. Not in my book. Revenge is best served cold, and revenge is your paper, your bag, your body, your mind, whatever you have together or whatever broke you down, flip that. So that's what I want women to get from me. There's a lot of people, I'm tired of seeing people twerking. Oh, well, don't look. I'm tired of seeing this bitch with a new nigga. Oh, yeah, well, don't look. I'm tired of hearing this bitch talking about something. Oh, yeah, well, don't listen. We all have choices. So what I want women to get from me is that I've been there, I've done that, wrote a book about it, sang a song about it. So it's nothing new under the sun. I'm not 20 years old no more. I'm not 30 years old no more. I'm part of the 4.0 club, and I'm glad to still be around, and I'm glad to still be looked up to and respected for, like, damn, we saw sis go through that. Because there was a time when people like, bitch, you got the nerve to be talking about some da-da-da-da, but you sitting up here with this nut, and I get it. That's why I had to change the narrative. So what I want women to get from me is whatever you got to do to take care of yourself, your kids, and handle your business, do it. Don't let nobody talk down, because don't nobody write their name on that check or send that direct deposit when them bills is due. It's a lot of women who I feel that they're holding back their best self because they're afraid of who they really are. That used to be me. I didn't realize who I was. I didn't take being Lil Mo serious. I was like, oh, shoot, I became Lil Mo just off the fact that people told me you talk a lot of shit, but for some reason, I believe you would back it up. They know I was with it. But then it got to the point where I talked so much shit that I was just like, I wasn't living it. So I want women to know that we are strong. It's Women's Empowerment Month. So I'm here to uplift. I see so many fly chicks doing a thing. And I'm just like, you letting this nigga play you like this? Like, sis, do you know who you are? But that's the same way a lot of women saw me. So it's time to take the mirror and look at yourself, sis, and be like, yo, like, I'm about to level up. Level up don't mean you automatically got to go buy material things. I don't want that to be the focus, because I know a lot of people think that success means when you allow to buy lavish things. I done had every lavish on floor, a lot of private planes, all the cars you can name, and I wasn't happy. You know when I got happy? When I realized, damn, sis, you did that. You survived opioid addiction and almost dying because somebody sold you a bad pill. You survived niggas going upside of your head, and you still got to go up there and sing Superwoman, but had to take a pill just to get your mind right. You survived what would have killed some of the strongest men out here. You done been out there. You was in the trenches for real. Yeah. But the fact that I pushed through, that's what I want these sisters to get from me. That's what I want my daughters to get from me. Like, I survived a lot, and a lot of my pain was self-inflicted. The reason being is because I was allowing stuff because I could take it. But nobody should have went through what I went through. Definitely. For the past 20 years. Not just this last situation, for 20 years.
Definitely. But speaking of being a similar situation, have you checked out the United States versus Billie Holiday yet?
I haven't, but I just saw, like, I've been seeing it, and I was wondering what it was about. So I'm definitely gonna check that out. And I also see there's something coming out about Tina Turner. It's so many women that I was thinking I was going through stuff. We saw the Ike and Tina. We saw the Whitney and Bobby. We've seen it all. Some of us became it. Some of us not gonna make it out. But for those that are still here and making it out, it behooves us. Like, I always feel that I'm a walking testimony. I'm not deep, safe, spooky, and all weird. Because at the end of the day, if it's time to pop out, we're gonna pop out. But I've learned to alter my focus to everything doesn't deserve a response. I'm learning from the greats to realize, dang, like, sis went through that. Like, we don't know. I realized I start judging people because I don't know what people be going through before they push this camera on, or when this camera go off, and when these lights come off, and when these lashes come off. Nobody knows what anybody's going through.
Facts. But like I said,
you gotta respect it.
You definitely hit it on the head as far as being an author and having a narrative. I want to know, as far as like your next book, I know you had a great first one, so I want to know, what do you have in mind for your second one?
Oh, we got another one coming. Please believe it. I'm a walking book, and I can't wait. We already have like things in the works, but it's about making it make sense, because I don't want to just do a book to have product out there and to do it. I want it to mean something and make sense. Before, I was doing things, and I used to be so hyped to couldn't wait to do the credits on the album or write a book so I could throw the pictures in there so everybody could see what I was living. Yeah. Or that's a dub. We're not doing that anymore. What we're going to do is we're going to focus on this glow in this go, and working out the best situations, not just taking anything, because now I realize what I deserve. I'm not going to just, once I drop these jewels, it's up.
Speaking of jewels, after the first book, what were some things that you had people either question or comment on a lot that you were like, damn, I should have better explained in the first book?
Honestly, I got a lot of good responses from it. People was like, dang, like, I really didn't know that's what happened to you. And I think that there was a lot I left out because I was afraid of I wasn't afraid. I was aware that I'd be judged, but I was still protecting some guilty people. Mm-hmm. And I was still trying to hide who I was. Like, I can't sit up here and say, this person did this, and be like, well, you allowed it. I've learned through therapy and through like everything, if your life, limb, or property isn't in danger, then you're accessible. None of my things were in danger, but I was allowing them to be endangered because I was allowing things in my space that should have been left on scene. So it's like with another book and a biopic and everything that's about to come, like nobody can tell my story like I could tell it. So it's gonna be lit. Now that I really have all eyes on me and the world is ready to receive what I have to say, because they know it's coming from a genuine place. It's coming from a place where I was once broken, but I'm still healing. I'm not all the way there yet, because there's some stuff I'll be like, nope, I'm not ready for that yet.
Yeah.
I've accepted it. A lot of people be acting like, oh, I'm ready to go back outside. They had a baby and be ready to go back outside. No, wait your 6 weeks, sis. People want to rush the process. I don't have to rush anymore. I just have to respect the process and trust it.
Sure. Now let me ask you this: as far as you be doing therapy and whatnot, like how has therapy helped you as a songwriter?
Honestly, my number one therapy is songwriting, because I'll sing stuff or I'll write stuff, even if it's not for me. I'll just write stuff and it'll become in my diary or my notes to reflect, because it has a timestamp, and I'll be like, dang, that might have been something I saw I was going through at that particular time, and I just wanted to get off my chest. I've learned to decompress, and like with a computer, when it's overloaded with data, you have to start deleting stuff. I was holding so much stuff in and packing so much stuff on that I didn't realize that I was becoming toxic, because I was ingesting too many toxins, not naturally, but spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, and physically. So hurt people, and I was hurting people and not realizing it, or causing some type of damage, not only to myself. And I was thinking, well, get over it. We all human. No, that's not right. That's not the right way to think or to live. So I believe that things that were once taboo are now chic to me. A lot of people say, well, Black people don't go through that. Yes, Black people need to go get some mental health. Like a lot of people need therapy. A lot of people are carrying childhood trauma. I was one of them. A lot of people are carrying baggage. Everybody thought that baggage meant kids. No, that's not baggage. Those are blessings. But baggage from relationships, hopping into one relationship, even though it be over and it hits the world, and be like, damn, she was just with. I was carrying that baggage because trust issues. So mental help and therapy and all that plays a part in songwriting, because there has to be a conflict and it has to be resolved. If I'm gonna sing about it or talk about it, I have to have a resolution to whatever problem that I'm bringing to the forefront. Or else what's the point? You just adding more toxicity to the air.
For sure. Now, definitely as a songwriter, I got to ask you, like I said, a lot of people run to you, a lot of women, a lot of men, people run to you for strength as far as through your music. But what I'm asking you, when it comes to creating, does it ever interfere with your creative process, knowing that people want certain songs from you or want this type of content from you?
No, not at all. Whatever I'm gonna give you, that's what you're gonna get. But I am so in tune with my fan base, not just my following, because there's a big difference. People have fans. I have fans, and now I have followers, and those followers become fans. One thing people know from me is I'm gonna give you what you need. It might not be how you thought you was gonna get it, but I'm gonna put the medicine in the candy. I'm gonna say, okay, sis, it's okay to do that, but there's an expiration date on everything. Live your life. I always encourage people, while you're young, don't rush. Play out your youth. I'm gonna be real, go through your whole phase, because I rather a whole phase than no phase. Because a lot of people are, what I see with people saying like, oh, these bitches is trying to be young, but you don't know what type of trauma they was going through when they was young, that they might have had to grow up before their time. And so now they want to be young again because they had to be adult when they was young. So it's like, just let people go through what they're going to go through and deal with what they're going to deal with. But I'm going to always have a song about it. And even if Broken Heart isn't for somebody, there's something on Savaged Heart that is for someone. And if I don't touch 10 million people, I'm going to touch one with this voice. If I don't heal the whole land, I'm going to heal one with this voice. I've been getting so many messages from people that was just like, I saw your interview. I heard what you said. Like, Mo, like, thank you. I needed this. If you could push through and I've looked up to you all of my life, I know I can make it. If I've helped hurt people through some of my actions, some of the things I may have done in my past, I have to be a catalyst and one of the same people that have to heal the same people that I may have almost destroyed.
No, definitely, definitely. Now, one last thing I want to ask you, as far as like motherhood music and whatnot. Now, you being that you said you have a son who is also embarking on his music journey, just watching this process, I want to ask you, what has your son came to you to question about the music industry?
Talking about when he gonna get paid. When I say he's a character, he's at that age. He's part of Generation Z. Is that what they're calling this generation? He's part of this generation where their tolerance and their attention span is little to listen. If I could get him to sit down for 5 minutes, I'm complete. If I could get him to stick to something for 5 minutes, then I'm just like, I'm excited because I get it. The world is hurry up. We were microwave age. These kids get everything. No, send it to me right now. Like they have everything at their fingertips, in their phones, everything. So one thing I taught him is just like, I see the videos you watch. I'm not weird. I know what's going on. I know what you're going through. I can't put myself in your shoes or in your body, but far as this business, I can show you the way, I can show you the ropes, but you're gonna go through, and it's gonna be harder for you because people are gonna think that you think you're automatically entitled because you're Lil Mo's son. No, you're not. I've seen some of the other artists whose children are embarking on a musical career. They was like, you think that just because you think I grew up with a silver spoon in my mouth, they just gonna automatically make me go platinum? No, I believe that he has to work 3 times as hard as I ever did because he has to prove to the world that he's worthy. Because I think he sings better than me, but he has to prove that to the world. And me getting up there and saying, listen to my son, it'd be cute when they're young, but once you come of age and you start smelling yourself and these girls start coming around, it's a whole new different ball game. That's when it gets real. So I try to instill in him that this is a business. This is not just a fun time where you just run up YouTube and do TikToks and look at girls do the silhouette challenge or whatever the case may be. Like this is real life. And that's why he'll see certain artists and he's like, well, what does this mean when artists say, I don't want to be signed on my label no more? It happens. You got to know what you sign.
Yeah.
You have to have lawyers watching lawyers, accountants watching accountants, and you got to have you have to trust somebody. You have to always have somebody that watches your back, watch the back of the person watching your back. So what I love about my son too is that he's street smart and he has common sense. Does he always apply it? No. But am I going to still support and stick by him? Yes. Because at the end of the day, I want him to be greater than I've ever been.
Facts. That's the dream of every parent. But
yes.
As far as R&B goes, now being that people have recognized you as a legend in this game, but I want to ask you right now, like, who are your top 3 people that you're really a fan of in R&B right now?
Like new artists or like just overall?
No, new artists. I would say new artists. Just a fan. Like you don't even care about. Like I know when
I'm gonna do girls and I'm gonna do boys because people would be like, "What did she forgot to say?" As far as the female artists, I love Summer Walker. I love Janae Aiko. I have to pick a third one. There's so many people that's dope. And her. Or is it H-E-R? Her?
Her.
Like, she's so dope to me. Like, she got it. Far as males, it's so many people that's I call them slack, but I know I'm saying it wrong. But Black, I like Post Malone, Party Next Door. It's just so many. Bryson Tiller. I can't name just 3 because there's some people like, and if I love their music, like riding in the car, listening, just around the house, I would love to see and experience them in concert. I haven't. I've seen Janae live, and I love how she just gets in her vibe and her zone. She take her shoes off. She goes in like she's a whole vibe. I haven't seen Summer Walker live, and I would love to because her energy that she exudes, I live. I haven't seen Party Next Door live. I haven't seen none of the artists I've named live, and that's what I want to see because then I'm already a fan. Now I want to become a super fan. I like Lil Nas X too. Like I love what he brings to the table. It's so many people that I love what they bring to the table. I can't wait for Outside to open all the way back up because all the concerts that we had planned to be a part of and tours, then it got shut down. And 2020 was a dub. So literally, now we have.
Were you supposed to be a part of the Lovers and Friends like festival that they had? That big festival. It was supposed to be Usher, TLC, like Ja Rule, Ashanti. Like they had a long list of people that were supposed to do it. It was like
I know I was on the Femme Forward tour, and it was like with all the females from Brandy, Monica, A. Marie, Carrie Hilson. Like it was lit. Yeah. We had literally shot a vibe cover. Heather Lowry, she's over the Live Nation Urban Division, and she has her own company. So with her putting that together, like chicks from the 90s, early 2000s coming back and selling out arenas and outdoor venues, it was about to be up. And they literally said, okay, well, we're going to take a 2-week hiatus. 2 weeks turn to 2 months. 2 months turn to a year. And I'm like, what the blood clot?
We gotta
get by Clyde was like
we gotta get that back. We gotta get that back. That's
definitely. But Lovers and Friends, that sounds litty. I know my phone gonna be running up, and the email's gonna be running up. I know Woo phone gonna be lit because one thing we're gonna do now is that we have music. Music is like the bartering chip. It's one thing to sing your classics and get booked, but when you got classics and new music that people rocking with, it's a whole new generation out there. So, like I was doing shows with A Boogie. It was 2019. Like I can rock out with the legends and Generation Z. So, Lovers and Friends, Friends and Them, whatever it is, let's go. Shoot, we on This Is 50. I did The Garden with 50 for the Power premiere in 2019. So it's just like I can rock any stage that's put on. So I just can't wait for everything to open back up because I'm ready.
No doubt. Now we definitely can't wait for you to drop this Savaged Heart. But in the meantime, you guys make sure you go check out Lil Mo's new single, Broken Hearts, which is oddly enough crazy as hell because it's Broken Hearts and then you got Savage Hearts on the. So it's like like you was depressed at first, but now it's time to get this get back. So
hello, listen. One thing I've always learned, and I'll say this in closing because I appreciate all the support. Thank you so much for this, and like just for the mutual respect. One thing I've always learned is that whether people believe, what happened back in the day when they said Christ died, if he stayed in the ground for 3 days and it came back, as so legend tells it, why do it take people longer than 3 days to get back up? Like, you can only stay down but so long. For real, people like, how you get over stuff so quick? I give myself 72 hours, then it's a wrap. Like, because anything after 21 days or 21 times becomes a habit. I can't, you feel me? We can't stay down too much longer. We don't know if the world's coming to an end. Look at the pandemic. Hello? Like, look at the pandemic. Look where everything happened. So while I have breath in my body and as long as the people will listen, I'm going to sing about it. That's why I really can't wait for Outside to open up. And that's what I want to tell everybody. 72 hours, then get up. That's it. Give yourself 72 hours because then you'll start dwelling and then you'll start reliving the pain and then you'll sink into a depression. I've been there. I've been suicidal. I've had the thoughts. I've almost taken my own life. That's selfish. Push through. Broken heart is up. That's it.
Like you said, we got Lil Mo in the building right now, man. Make sure you go check out Broken Hearts, available on all streaming platforms right now.
All loud.
And make sure you get ready for Savage Hearts. Now, Lil Mo, I want to pay you your respects as a beautiful Black queen, as a beautiful singer, as a legendary singer at that. We want to thank you for all the many memories that you have given us throughout the years, all the
Thank you.
that you've given us, all the collaborations, everything. Thank you so much for being the woman that you are and being the testament that you are as a beautiful Black queen. And we continue to support you until until you decide, hey, it's time for retirement. But we
Hello.
it's not no time soon. But like I said, this is 50. We got Lil Mo in the building. Make sure you go check out her song, Broken Hearts, available now. Thank you. Peace.
Thank you.